Okay, earlier we talked about the wet lowlands and we compared their characteristics. And during the wet season of January, February 1999 in southwest Rondônia, Silver Dias et al. Found that there were alternating periods of westerlies and easterlies flow. The former gave rise to stratiform cloud with January light rain and the later to convective cloud with heavy rainfalls. These regimes appear to be linked to the 20 to 50-day Madden-Julian oscillations in the equatorial region. An active South Atlantic convergence zone leads to a westerly wind regime over Amazonia, where areas breaks in the SACZ lead to the westerlies region. The Congo River basin covers 4 million square kilometers astride the equator. The climate of Congo is equatorial, with the rainy season related to the passage of the ITCZ in January. The ITCZ is oriented north to south from 15 degrees south to 5 degrees north over the central Congo basin. Between westerlies flow from the South Atlantic and easterlies flow from the Indian Ocean to the west along about 15 degrees south. There is the internal ocean convergence zone. IOCZ, known as the Zaire Air Boundary (ZAB), between northwesterly flow from the South Atlantic and southeasterlies from the Indian Ocean. In July, the IOCZ is oriented southwest to northwest, southwest to northeast from 15 degrees south to the equator, as shown by Van Hetter and Tijard. The disturbances associated with the convergence zone are either heat flows or waves and flows traveling westward in the tropical easterlies. The lows extend up to about 600 millibar, overlain by an anticyclone. Another source of precipitation is mesoscale line squares that move westward. In the south, the rainy season is from March to June. The moisture is brought at upper level by the northerly component of the AEJ as the ITCZ moves northward. The maximum precipitation is in July and August. It then shifts into central Congo in September and October when the moisture comes via low-level advection from the Atlantic Ocean. Between November and February, the southern parts receive maximum precipitation. Thereafter, the ITCZ moves northward again, crossing central Congo in March and April. So this zone has two rainfall maxima. Precipitation totals are around 1800 to 20,000 or 2,000 millimeter less than in Amazonia. This is in part because the East Africa highlands block moisture from the Indian Ocean, according to Chewatha. In the regions with a dry season, annual totals are of the order of 1,500 to 1,600 millimeter. Temperatures and relative humidity around 80% are constantly high in the central region, with mean temperatures about 27 degrees Celsius and rarely dropping below 20 degrees Celsius. So the tropical and subtropical steppe Okay. Tropical steppe is BS. Climates occur on the equatorial margin of tropical deserts, as in the Sahel grasslands of Africa. Subtropical steppe is found on the poleward um, margin of tropical deserts. Annual rainfall in the Sahel is 100 to 500 millimeter, falling in summer from instability lines that moves westward. Mean monthly temperatures range from about 23 degrees to 34 degrees Celsius, like their mid-latitude counterparts. They periodically experience protracted droughts. The Sahel was particularly affected in the 1970s to 1980s, although the late 20th century remained much drier than the first 60 years of the century. There had been similar events in the 1940s to 1950s and 1820s to 1830s. The primary cause is thought to be a decrease in sea surface temperatures, SSTs, in the tropical South Atlantic, and it has been suggested that the Atlantic Multi-Decadal Oscillation AMO in ocean temperatures plays a role. The AMO, whose full cycle spans an interval of 70 years, was negative in the 1970s to 1980s. However, studies show that SSTs across the tropical oceans also play a role in Sahel droughts. Relations have been demonstrated with both El Nino and Indian Ocean SST sea surface temperature. Sea temperatures. These remote teleconnections must involve convective buildup, perhaps via the MJO, and its effects on upper level flow in the worker circulations. Humid subtropical. The humid subtropical climate, CF or CW, according to Coben, is most developed in the lowlands of the southern United States, southeastern United States, and southeastern China, but also occurs in southeastern South America and coastal southeastern Australia. There are some notable differences between the regions, particularly in Eastern Asia. The region of the southeast United States is dominated by tropical maritime air that flows eastward from the Gulf of Mexico. Summers are long, hot, and humid with daily average temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius. There are only a few days with freezing temperatures in winter, and snowfalls are rare. Inland in spring and summer, the area may be affected by violent thunderstorms and tornadoes that move east or northward. The peak frequency occurs in Oklahoma in late spring. A second maximum is found along the Gulf Coast in late autumn. Per 26,000 square kilometers, there are 8 tornadoes per year in Oklahoma and 9 in Florida, and they commonly form where cold, dry polar air from the northwest moves over warm, moist southerly tropical air. This leads to the formation of a supercell thunderstorm, where high instability and a strong moisture source favor tornadoes. This gives rise to a southwest northeast oriented belt that is referred to by weather forecasters as Tornado Alley. The mechanism that initiates rotation is still unclear. They occur most often in early evening. The scale of tornado intensity originally developed by Fujita in 1971 now ranges between F0 with winds of 105 to 137 kilometers per hour and F5 with winds over 322 kilometers per hour. On average, there are about 800 tornadoes per year in the United States, resulting in 80 deaths and 150 injuries. This leads to the formation of a supercell thunderstorm where higher instability and a strong moisture source favor tornadoes. This gives rise to a southwest northeast oriented belt that is referred to by weather forecasters as Tornado Alley, as mechanisms that initiates rotation is still unclear. So here is the Tornado Alley. So where is Tornado Alley? That I'm in here in Kansas, so I'm part of the old Tornado Alley. But now the new Tornado Alley kind of move it here. Scary is Florida has it, because I love Florida, and Florida has a lot of snowbirds. Are they scary? But right now, Florida population is increasing. So, do they know about anything about tornado? Probably they know about hurricanes. Okay, in Southeast China, the winters are cooler than in the Southeast United States as a result of cold air outbreaks from eastern Siberia. In summer, the region is affected by the East Asia West Pacific monsoon. Much of the water vapor in summer originates over the Indian Ocean, but the West Pacific high exerts strong control on the monsoon over southeast China. Annual rainfall totals exceeds 1,500 millimeter near the coast and are 1,000 to 1,500 millimeter to the north and west. Shanghai has temperatures ranging 5 degrees Celsius in January and 28 degrees Celsius in July, whereas the corresponding figures from Hong Kong are 17 degrees Celsius and 28 degrees Celsius. The coastal regions of both the southeastern United States and southeast China may be affected by tropical cyclones in summer and autumn. These bring high winds and heavy rainfall in the southeastern United States. Up to 15% of the hurricane season June-November rainfall is brought by tropical cyclones. In the southeastern coastal regions of China, tropical cyclones, typhoons bring more than 500 millimeter of rain annually. Accounting for 20 to 40% of the total annual precipitation. In southwestern South America, the humid subtropical climate includes the Pampas grassland region. There is a rainfall throughout the year with a minimum in June. Buenos Aires summer temperatures range average 25 degrees Celsius, and in July winter they average 11 degrees Celsius. Cold spells may occur in winter with outbreaks of polar air from Antarctica. In July 2007, snow fell in Buenos Aires for the first time since